So if you follow us on YouTube or anywhere on social media, you know one of my favorite patterns, and probably the pattern I tell everyone, especially as a newer trader or a part-time trader that's new to these volatile stocks, is that VWAP-hold high-a-day break. And today I'm going to talk about breaking that right down to the nitty-gritty and actually implementing that scam. Hey everyone, lead trainer with StocksToTrade, Tim Bohen here. Be sure to like, subscribe, share these videos with your friends, and definitely check out the Steady Trade team. It's a mentorship program where I break down these screeners, I break down charting, we get into the fundamentals. It's a year-long program. I really think it's the best way to absorb my 15 years of experience. And hey, the simple fact is, I've learned so much from so many other traders down there. I kind of like to think of myself, for lack of a better term, a student of the game. All I read about, all I study, all I follow is trading, finance, business, and I think that passion and that enthusiasm shows through with me as a mentor. So check out the Steady Trade team. Look forward to working with you. It's a small group. I think it's the best way to really hone your skills and get to that goal of being a consistently profitable trader. All right, that being said, we've got a ton of videos. You can check them all out. We've got blog posts. I talk about it on the podcast. That VWAP-hold high-a-day break, which is that afternoon pattern you'll hear me talk about constantly, whether it be on the pre-market prep, whether it be on the daily briefing. And what I want to do is give you the ability to create this scan on your own, okay? Number one, don't tell my boss. Well, what I would say is get StocksToTrade. The great thing is if you get StocksToTrade, the trial, you have access on the university site to import these scans directly. I'll save you the time. But the reason I made the joke about not telling my boss, I'm going to show you how to create this scan on another trading software. Hey, I'm all about giving. I give too much, probably. That's probably what my boss will probably say. I'll probably get a week off for this video. But anyway, you can see a stock, that ATHE. We've got a bunch of these. You know, this is that big runner that's consolidating around VWAP. It's rotating the float, has 5x float rotation, and it's on the VWAP-hold scan, high-day scan, as well as FCEL, which is another stock that I was talking about on the daily briefing today, a battery play. It's a big gainer, was a big gainer on Friday, hit a new high day, consolidating around that high day. So these are the patterns we're looking for, but the great thing about the scan is it gives you the shortcut to actually find those. Now, again, I think StocksToTrade is the best way to build these. I love the way we have these, I call them logic blocks. The tech team will probably yell at me, but I love this if-then-else type methodology, and it really gives you a great way to visually figure out these scans, especially if you're building one on your own, okay? And I've done a bunch of videos, but we have hundreds of criteria, price action criteria, liquidity, fundamentals, technical indicators. I mean, you can add studies, all kinds of volume. I mean, look, I can just keep expanding. You can get as crazy detailed as you want. And that's why I want to kind of walk you through this to show you how, with a few simple steps, you can find these great afternoon patterns, this pattern that's been repeating for a decade now. I mean, this is, and many of you might be asking, I call it the VWAP-hold high-a-day break. Many of you know it as the ABCD pattern. Many of you might know it as the gun pattern. I mean, this is maybe, we talk about that ABCD pattern. It's probably, when it comes to like number one pattern to become fluent on, this is it. This is why I want you, if you've got a different charting package, or if you've got StocksToTrade, I want you using this. Because, I mean, listen, there's not one every day. 4-5 days a week, 3 days a week minimum. You've got that big gainer in a hot sector with float rotation that's hugging VWAP, breaking out into that 2 p.m. window. You'll hear me say that over and over again. So let's break it down. Let's get started. So starting out in the lower left, I only look for stocks greater than $1. That is just my personal preference. I'm not a big, we call them sub pennies or true penny stocks. Now, nothing bashing I've just never found consistency in those 5-cent stocks or those 1 cent stock, or you can trade 5/1000th of a penny stocks. I mean, they're out there. For me, the sweet spot is 1 to 20. And so you can see these two price criteria. I'm looking for stocks greater than or equal to $1. You should know your Boolean operators. If you don't, go to YouTube. They'll talk you through it. And then I'm looking for less than or equal to 20. That's my sweet spot for stocks that have the biggest potential to spike and not be quote unquote too boring. Now higher price stocks can run. Higher price stocks can make huge moves, but the lower the price, the more degenerate day traders, as we like to joke about, the more the small traders, the more the Robin Hooders are in there, more buyers, more uneducated buyers creates more opportunity. And that's why we want to focus on these stocks. The simple fact is, if you're talking about a $1.20 stock, majority of traders don't even know what they're doing that are in these stocks. Now, they don't watch the YouTube. They're not in the steady trade team, but and that's who we want to trade against. We want to trade against the dumb money. So I think the most of the dumb money is in that $1 to $20 range. Next criteria is up more than 10% a day. That's the lower range, really. I mean, most days, this is also, that greater than 10% gainer, I joke is I almost need to update a lot of these scans for 2020, because it used to be that, prior to 2020, 10% or above was like, wow, big mover. These days, it probably could be 20, 30, 40, 50% even. Because the fewer matches you want, the better. So I still stick to 10, but feel free to tweak that and maybe ratchet that up to even 20 or 30%, especially as you go into the afternoon. I'm recording at 2 p.m. right now, which hopefully I get a good one on scan. This is our magic time for the VWAP-hold. Next is greater than or equal to 1 million shares traded. Couple tips here. Number one, this probably needs to be updated for 2020 as well. Could probably be 10 million. It's wild. I'm doing webinars in pre-market, and there's times I just laugh. I'm like, the volume that's out there. It used to be 50,000, 100,000 shares in pre-market was like air quotes a lot. Now, if it's not trading several million in pre-market, we don't even care. So that number one, that could probably be ratcheted up to 10 million, especially if you're scanning in the afternoon. And then number two, if you're trading those true penny stocks that I mentioned before, so if you're looking at the 1 cent stocks, the 5 cent stocks, you want to ratchet that over to dollar volume instead of shares, okay? And that might be a time for a different discussion, maybe a different video, but think about, just real quickly, if it's a fifth of if it's 5/1000th of a penny, 1 million shares is nothing. That could be one person buying, okay? I want to focus on 1 million shares traded because I know that's what most people are looking at, or that 10 million number. But if you're trading those true penny stocks, flip to dollar volume, because you want to be looking at stocks that are trading $1 million in volume or $10 million in volume minimum for those true sub pennies. Next, this is where the quote-unquote magic happens. And it's simple. It's very simple. I'm not trying to sit here like this is some black box algorithm, like I'm Jim Simons. I've actually got his book over there I need to read. But, like this isn't some quant algo thing. It's a very simple criteria. But you can see I've got an OR, Boolean operator here, okay? So this is comparing stocks that are slightly above VWAP or slightly below VWAP by 2%. So that's that hugging action we're looking for. So it tells me that this stock is in that battleground area. That's what we want, because what we want when we've got a big gainer, it's in a hot sector, we know there's going to be a lot of shorts. So the more it hugs VWAP, the more shorts it's collecting, as we say. It's drawing them in, pulling them in, and that dip below, they'll short. Then they start getting timid on that dip back above, and I call it that short torturing action. So now when we run that scan, we're going to see, what do I got? 9 stocks, okay? That's a nice, manageable number. I can sort by volume. I can see the highest volume stocks. SUNW, that's a solar stock we've been tracking a lot that's on there. See, there we go. Perfect. So sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. So now I've got exactly what I'm looking for. Solar stock, which is a hot sector. You can see I've got 4 million float. It's traded 14 million shares. This is and you'll probably be like, yeah, whatever, Tim, you know this was going to be there. I did not see this morning. I did not realize SunW was up. This is a solar stock. The float rotation, it's breaking out over that whole dollar, half dollar this morning, and now it's hugging VWAP. So this is definitely a setup in the afternoon. If this can break that high day, VWAP-hold high day break, then I have a clearly defined risk down on VWAP. So let's say it goes. If it breaks 4, that's your buy entry. You stop out on a VWAP fail. You're risking 25 cents a share on a $4 stock for the potential that this could go 75 cents or more. You can see it has the potential. The great thing about this scan, I mean, look at SUNW. A few weeks ago, went from 50 cents, to $4 in one day. Next day, $4 to $8 in one day. Former runner, has potential. Multi-month breakout too. So, I like SUNW. So anyway, definitely, and there's other ones on there, but the nice thing about it is you can see it's got me 8, 9 stocks. It's a manageable number. I can track that many. I can look for hot sectors. I can see what the volume is. I can really drill in. And within a couple minutes, I have a very real trading opportunity on a solar hot stock, low float, with float rotation that has a history of running. You'll see me do that a lot, especially in like the pre-market prep where we're breaking down these ideas. We want to line up as many factors as possible, and SUNW is that. And you can see how quickly I found it with the scan. So that's that being said, let me know in the comments, do you trade this pattern? If you don't, I mean, you're probably sick of hearing me talk about it because I feel like every other video I talk about this pattern, but it is my favorite pattern for the new or the intermediate trader, which I'm guessing are most of the people watching these videos. And you need to master this one first, in my opinion, before you start branching out to all these different setups. Start here, learn to recognize it, learn to what to look for, and then go from there. Whether you call it the ABCD, whether you call it the gun, whether you call it the VWAP-hold high day break, so many traders are trading this, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Let me know in the comments below, do you trade this setup? Is it one of your favorites? Have you found consistency with it? And like I said, don't tell my boss I showed you how to put this in any charting platform. But get the trial. I mean, the great thing about StocksToTrade, one click, you can bring that scan in, and it's all pre-built for you. I've got, I think, a dozen scans roughly that I give out on top of the built-in scans. So we've got a ton of great stuff in StocksToTrade. Get the trial, check it out, run the scan. I mean, you can run the scan during the trial, see if it works for you, and then hopefully you'll think about joining the Steady Trade team. You see my screen every single day, twice a day. Today I'm doing 3 webinars. I'm doing one in the morning, one in the afternoon, one in the evening. I don't know anybody that does that. No matter what your schedule is, you can catch a webinar breaking down these stocks. Have a great day. Look forward to seeing you on the next video.